ยังไม่กราบพร้อมกันนะนะคนไหนที่ไปงานอ๋อเยอะดีไหมคนเยอะไหม
เยอะอยู่จ้ะค่ะ
เดี๋ยวร้อนเดี๋ยวหนาวอากาศมันเปลี่ยนไงคนนิ่งภาวนาเป็นยังไงนะใช่มันสงบบ้างไหมไม่เท่าไหร่
ต่อเนื่องค่ะ
ฮะ
มันไม่ต่อเนื่องค่ะต้องอยู่นาน
ๆก็ต้องมา1 อาทิตย์นะให้ภาวนาน้อยนะเป็นเมธี2 คนภาวนาเป็นยังไงฮะดีเหรอดีแบบไหนฝันดีละพยายามหน่อยฮะเนี่ยไหนฝนเราก็มีคำถามไหมไม่มีเดี๋ยวนี้ก็ลองสมาธิลึกๆไหมลองสมาธิลึกไหม
ก็เรื่อยๆสักหน่อยก็ดูลมแล้วก็พิจารณาคายแล้วก็กลับมาดูลมสลับกัน
ก็อยู่กับลมนะเมื่ออยู่กับลมอันเดียวนะถึงไม่มีคำคิดขึ้นมาไม่มีความจำขึ้นมานะเมื่อออกจากสมาธิก็พิจารณาร่างกายได้นะแต่มันอย่ารวมกัน
อ๋อไม่ต้องรวมกัน
โอ้ห้าม
พระอาจารย์บางครั้งก็แบบจิตมันแวบออกไปข้างนอกก็เลยดึงกลับมาก็เลยพิจารณาร่างกายก่อนแล้วก็ค่อยเข้าสมาธิ
ไม่ เมื่อทำต้องช่วงนี้นะมันก็ต้องตั้งใจนะช่วงนี้ก็จะทำลมหายใจอันเดียวทำสมาธิอันเดียวนะเมื่อจิตมาออกนะมันจะดึงกับที่พุทโธลมหายใจเข้าลมหายใจออกนะไม่ได้ไปในร่างกายนี่สุดท้ายก็ไม่รู้นะมันจะอยู่ที่ไหนนะเมื่อรวมกันนะไม่ใช่พิจารณาและไม่ใช่สมาธินะเป็น
ก็คือเวลาถ้าดูลมลึกๆก็คือดูลมไปเลยไม่ต้องพิจารณาหนูก็รู้สึกบางครั้งก็แบบว่าถ้ารู้สึกว่าไม่ลึกก็พิจารณาร่างกายได้แต่พอเราเข้าลึกไปแล้วเอ๊ะทำไมมันถึงแบบมันพิจารณาไม่ค่อยได้ก็เลยว่าเอ๊ะหรือว่าเราต้องออกจากสมาธิที่แบบว่ามันลึก
ใช่เมื่อเข้าลึกก็มันพิจารณาไม่ได้ต้องออกจากสมาธิก่อนนะแต่ต้องตามใจนะนี่1 ชั่วโมงก็2 ชั่วโมงทำสมาธิหลังจากนี้ก็ทำพิจารณาร่างกายนะ1 ชั่วโมงแล้วเวลาทำพิจารณาร่างกายไม่ได้ลงในสมาธิด้วยนะบางทีพิจารณาร่างกายทำให้ใจสงบด้วยนะไม่ต้องลงในสมาธิอันอื่นก็ไม่มีผลเข้าใจไหมลงลึกก็ไม่ได้เลยพิจารณาไม่ได้ผลนะอย่ารวมกันนะหลวงตามหาบัวก็พูดบ่อยๆนะต้องรู้อันไหนก็เป็นอันไหนนะเมื่อเป็นร่างกายก็ต้องเป็นร่างกายนะเมื่อเป็นผิวหนังต้องเป็นผิวหนังนะก็พิจารณาร่างกายก็เหมือนกันอยู่กับผิวหนังนะอยู่กับเล็บกับฟันกับผมกับอันนี้เนี่ยมันขนนะต้องอยู่กับนี้อันเดียวนะ1 ชั่วโมงนะถึงเห็นชัดๆนะหลังจากนี้ก็ถามดูนะนั้นมันจะดูนะเป็นมาจากไหนมันเกิดที่ไหนนะมันมีบางที่ก็เก่งนะมันทำธาตุนะมันแยกออกสีธาตุนะธาตุลมธาตุไฟธาตุดินธาตุอะไรไฟดิน
ดินน้ำลมไฟ
ลมน้ำนี่แยกออกนะเพราะว่าทุกส่วนในร่างกายนะมันมีสีธาตุนะเมื่อแยกออกมาแล้วมันจะเห็นนะมันจะมีอะไรนะแต่ช่วงแรกก็ดูพิจารณาเรื่องชีวิตของเรานะ
เพราะว่าเมื่อวันก่อนเราก็พิจารณาร่างกายได้แล้วก็รู้สึกว่าพิจารณาทำไมแม่จังก็เลยคิดว่าสงสัยเข้าสมาธินี้วันนี้ก็ลองนั่งดูนานๆพิจารณาร่างกายไม่ได้ก็เลยคิดว่าสงสัยจริงเพราะว่าเข้าสมาธิลึกก็เลยพิจารณาไม่ได้ต้องออกมาก่อน
ใช่ก็นี้ต้องเข้าใจนะเมื่อสมาธิก็ไม่พิจารณาไม่ได้เมื่อไม่มีความคิดเมื่อไม่มีความจำขึ้นมาก็พิจารณาก็ไม่ได้มันอยู่ในห้องสมาธิเมื่ออยู่ในห้องสมาธิก็พิจารณาไม่ได้นะต้องออกจากห้องสมาธิก่อนนะแล้วโอเคพิจารณาได้นะต้องเข้าใจนี้นะอย่ารวมกันนะจะไม่มีผลมันมีลึกน้ำแล้วไม่มีผลในสมาธิในคนอื่นก็พิจารณานะมีชี2 คนพิจารณาร่างกายบ้างเนี่ยไม่อยากดูใช่ไหมมันความสกปรกความเลอะเทอะก็ไม่อยากดูนะเข้าใจอยู่แต่ของเราต้องดูนะของเราเกลียดมันบางทีก็เกลียดร่างกายเนี่ยเกลียดนี่เกลียดโน่นนะแต่ความเกลียดเกี่ยวกับร่างกายเมื่อพิจารณาร่างกายเรียบร้อยแล้วก็ไม่มีความเกลียดขึ้นมานะนี่ต้องเข้าใจต้องดูนะแล้วพยายามเอาความโกรธเกิดความเกลียดขึ้นมานะมันจะดูนะเหมือนทุกขเวทนาช่วงแรกก็ทุกขเวทนาพิจารณาทุกขเวทนาก่อนนะเมื่อทุกขเวทนาก็รับได้นะทำความเกลียดก็รับได้เหมือนกันนะแต่ต้องรับในใจด้วยนะไม่ต้องกลัวไม่ต้อง ไม่ให้อยากได้นะนี่มันต้องดูละเอียดความรู้สึกเป็นยังไงของความเครียดนะดูทุกส่วนในร่างกายความรู้สึกเป็นยังไงทุกขเวทนาความรู้สึกเป็นยังไงเมื่อรับได้ก็พิจารณาได้เมื่อไม่รับไม่ได้มันก็พิจารณาทุกขเวทนาก็ไม่ได้นะเข้าใจนะนี่การฝึกฝนกับหินลับปัญญานะมันทุกขเวทนาบางที่ก็ต้องหนัง2, 3, 4, 5 ชั่วโมงนะถึงทุกขเวทนาขึ้นมาแล้วพิจารณาได้นะอันนี้ก็คนที่ไม่ได้ภาวนาตลอดเวลานะพิจารณาของชีวิตของเราเกิดมามันฝึกร่างกายนี่ฝึกเดินฝึกพูดฝึกเขียนฝึกอ่านฝึกคิดนะ15 ปี18 ปีก่อนใช้ได้ร่างกายนี่แล้วใช้ได้30 ปีนะหลังจากนี้ก็เสริมไปเสริมลงเดี๋ยวเสียนี้เดี๋ยวเสียนู้นเดี๋ยวไปหาหมอไปนะนั่นรถยนต์เก่าๆแก่ๆนะพิจารณาปล่อยและเรื่องความตายก็ต้องพิจารณาเหมือนกันนะพระพุทธเจ้าสอนว่าพิจารณาเรื่องความตายก็สำคัญนะต้องคิดเรื่องความตายทุกวันนะพิจารณาดูเดี๋ยวจะตายเดี๋ยวจะเกิดมาเนาะเมื่อเกิดมาก็ของเราต้องป่วยลงนะมันต้องแก่ลงแล้วสุดท้ายก็ตายแล้วตายเป็นยังไงความตายทำไมของเรากลัวความตายดูความกลัวนะเมื่อพิจารณาทุกขเวทนาดูความกลัวเหมือนกันนะดูความเกลียดดูความโลภนะเหมือนกันได้นะเมื่อพิจารณาทุกขเวทนาเรียบร้อยแล้วนะความรู้สึกความโกรธความหลงความโลภก็ได้เหมือนกันนะในความกลัวนะห่วงนะมันทำอะไรกับจิตของเราเมื่อมีความห่วงขึ้นมานะทำอะไรกับจิตของเราดูพิจารณาดูความกลัวก็เหมือนกันและจะดังกันยังไงความห่วงความกลัวดังกันยังไงความรู้สึกต้องพิจารณาดูละเอียดนะและทุกขเวทนาจะทำอะไรนะมันหัวใจนะ ไม่ใช่จิตใจแต่หัวใจจะเป็นยังไงเมื่อกลัวนะหัวใจมันจะแน่นนะ มันไม่ออกไม่มีอิสระนะมันต้องอิสระนะและความกลัวก็หายไปนะความห่วงก็เหมือนกันหัวใจของเขานะมันจะเน้นขึ้นนะและสุดท้ายก็ลมหายใจก็ไม่ออกนะความกลัวก็เหมือนกันนะความโกรธนะจะเป็นยังไงนะหัวใจกับจิตใจจะเป็นยังไงนะเพราะว่าจิตใจกับหัวใจก็มันเกี่ยวข้องกันนะ เมื่อจิตใจเมื่อมีความคิดขึ้นมานะก่อนพูดนะมันจิตมันคิดก่อนนะและหลังจากนี้มันจะทำให้หัวใจนะทำงานแล้วหัวใจทำงานให้สมองทำงานนะเนี่ยนั่งดูของเขายังไม่เข้าใจนะมันหลังไกลนี่ก็ใช้ได้ยังไงนะมันทำงานได้ยังไงของเขาอยากดูอยากรู้ทุกสิ่งทุกอย่างนะเมื่อมีความรู้สึกขึ้นมานะมันพิจารณาดูนะเข้าใจนะมีคำถามไหม
อาจารย์นะคะถ้าสมมติว่าเรานั่งสมาธินานๆไปไม่ต้องกังวลอะไรเลยก็คือดูลมอย่างเดียว
ดูลมอันเดียว
ไม่ต้องกังวลอะไร
ไม่ต้องทำอะไรดูลมอันเดียวรู้ลมนะกำลังละเอียดนะถึงมันชิดมันฉลองเองในมันความรู้ถ้ามันลองเองในจิตนะเวลาอยู่ในจิตมันจะเห็นอยู่และสุดท้ายความรู้สึกของหลังก็หายไปนะสุดท้ายนะก่อนเข้าอัปปนาสมาธิใช่เปล่ามากเดี๋ยวมันจะความรู้นะมันแรงขึ้นนี่ที่สำคัญเมื่อดูได้ลมหายใจนะความรู้ไม่ได้ขึ้นมาอัตโนมัตินะมันต้องเรียกมาช่วงแรกก็ต้องเรียกมานะและสุดท้ายก็เมื่อไม่มีความรู้สึกของลมหายใจนะความรู้ขึ้นมานะและความรู้ละเอียดกว่านะมันความรู้สึกนะของลมหายใจเข้าใจนะมีคำถามไหมเนี่ยยายนางนะพิษนะก็พยายามหน่อยนะด้วยนะดูเด็ดดอกไม้ไปนี่ไปโน่นก็เมื่อไปนี่ไปโน่นก็อยู่กับพุทโธนะโอเคSo, I mean, we are nearly, it's past half of the Pansa. You know? I mean, how is your practice going on? How is your samadhi? How is your investigation? Huh? So use the rest of the Pansa, to exert a little bit your effort, in your practice, in the practice of samadhi and in the practice of investigation, in developing wisdom. Don't follow your thoughts, yeah? No matter how interesting they are, say there's a thought and then go back to the Buddha or go back to the breath, yeah? There's a thought, yeah? Or just say, I'm not interested. I mean, we are so attached, it is like, we are so attached to our thoughts, yeah? And to our memories. Oh, this memory, where does it come from? Huh? Where's the rain coming from? Yeah? Where are the clouds coming from? Where's the sun coming from? Yeah, and so on. Yeah, it comes and it goes. It comes and it goes. It's the same thing with our thoughts and it's the same thing with our memories. They come and go. Huh? And at the moment, when we try to focus on the Buddha or on the breath, the Kilesas bring up these thoughts to distract us. And if we don't understand that, we don't fight them. Yeah? It's the Kilesas who bring up these thoughts. It's the Kilesas who bring up these memories to distract us. Yeah? And the moment we get interested in whatever they bring up, then they already have us, have us on the leash. Yeah? Just like the owner of a cow or of an ox, he just pulls them, and the ox goes along, and that's how the Kilesas pull us out, and then, after 10 minutes we realize we have been out, So, The moment you realize, before you can't do anything, the moment you realize you're out in thoughts, just bring it back. And that's where we need to put our effort in. We don't need to push it, but we need to bring it back, and that's where we need the effort. Let me just think this. I mean this memory. The past is past. The future has not arisen. I mean, but we use the past, and our thoughts, to predict the future that has not arisen. In the future that we are used to predict, all the time in our life, has it always come true? No, 99.9% not. Sometimes we played the lottery and we won. But most of the time, no. So it is useless to go in the future. Just be in the present moment. What is happening right now? And the best thing, how to be in the present moment is to feel the body. I mean, to be centered in the body. What are the feelings in the body? What are the feelings on the head? What are the feelings on the feet? What are the feelings, in my legs, in my arms? That's how we center back in that is what is real. And everything else, is brought up by the Kilesas, or brought up by memories and by thoughts, and they just distract us from what really is there. It's the same thing, the moment we get afraid, we just center back in the body, and where is it, Before, I was talking to the Thais about, once we get a little bit in samadhi, once we investigate dukkha vedana, so painful feelings that arise, when we sit for a long time, 2 hours or 3 hours, then really painful feelings come. And this is the sharpening stone for our wisdom. We use this first. So we have to really train this dukkha vedana, to sharpen the wisdom. What is the feeling like? First we feel it, and we feel the aversion to it, and then we let go of the aversion and breathe in the dukkha vedana, breathe in, the painful feeling, and then, we look at the painful feeling. What is it like? How is it? How does it feel? How does it feel in the arms? How does it feel in the legs? Where is it? Where is it located? And then we go to the spot where it is located, and then we feel it there. But we have to accept it, and that is the most difficult thing to accept. We don't like painful feelings, just like we don't like a lot of things in our life. We don't like if somebody talks like this. We don't like if we hear something disturbing sound. We don't like this. We don't like that. We first have to accept these things, that they are there. We cannot get rid of them. You understand that? The moment we have aversion to it, it makes it just stronger, and it makes it more difficult, to investigate it, So once we breathe in, just like how do we breathe in? How do we breathe in painful feelings? It is like there is a really bad smell, and that happens normally if a small animal dies, and there's a really stinking smell. We don't want to smell it. How do we do it? We breathe it in. And then we see there's nothing wrong with it. It's not good smelling. Of course it is not good smelling. And that is the same thing with the painful feeling. We accept it. So we breathe in the painful feeling. And we accept it. And the moment we can accept it, then we can also investigate. Where is it, at which location, and how is it? Is it changing? Anicca, anatta, dukkha. We use these 3 principles. Anicca, that means it's impermanent. So it constantly changes. The pain is never, the strength of the pain is not constant. In this we can investigate. And then we can investigate anatta. Whatever we see, whatever we feel is not me. Or we can see, Dukkha, the first noble truth. This is the first noble truth. That's what the Lord Buddha talks. In the first noble truth, Dukkha Vedana is part of the first noble truth. We have Dukkha in our life. Why do we have Dukkha in our life? Because we don't like the painful feeling. And we want to have nice feelings. That's where the Dukkha comes in, with the wanting, with the desire, or tanha. That's where the dukkha, that's why we have dukkha. If there is no desire, if there is no aversion, there's no dukkha. There are painful feelings, but there is no dukkha. The dukkha comes mostly from the heart, that we don't want it. That we don't want to accept a painful feeling. And if you leave out, the aversion that arises instantly with the painful feeling, then the painful feeling is bearable. It is okay. Even the Lord Buddha has painful feelings. Lungta Mahaboy, showed us that he has painful feelings. I think he was bitten by a scorpion, or a centipede. And then and then what? And then he said, he looked at our faces, because everybody was running to his kuti, to see what is going on, And then he looked at our faces and said, of course I have painful feelings, it hurts, Why should it not hurt? But the dislike is that what makes it really unbearable, Otherwise it is bearable. And then, when, like I said before, when we can investigate painful feelings, we can investigate any kind of feeling. Be it the feeling of fear, be it the feeling of worries, be it the feeling of, of all these things, be it the feeling of longing, be it the feeling of aversion. We can investigate them, and we see them. So we go to the heart, we go to the feeling. We look at it, and we look what is happening to our body. What is happening to our body, for instance, when there is fear? Our heart closes down. It becomes so rigid. So we can open it up. We can slowly open it up. And then the fear automatically goes away. And that is how we investigate, these feelings. What is the physical heart doing? Because if we can't catch, what the chitta is doing, and we go to the physical heart and see, is it free? Because if it is free, it is worry-free. There's no worries. There's nothing. If it is completely open, an open heart, welcomes everything. But if the heart is closed, that means something is wrong. So if you don't know what is going on in the chitta, we first look at the physical heart, and see what is going on there. That's why I said, it is important. It is important sometimes, to center in the body, and to see what is going on. It is also, when I feel, my muscles are strained, or when I tighten up or freeze up, what is going on? Then I go to the heart. What is the heart doing? And when I'm good, then I can see what is going on in the chitta. But first we can go to the physical heart and see, and then relax it there. And then automatically, also this relaxes. Also our muscles relax. We have to understand this body. Now we have to understand how this body is working. And then we have to understand how the connection between the chitta and the heart. Because when the chitta forms a thought, then the heart starts to react. And then the brain starts to react. We can follow it up. It is like a computer. It is like a sophisticated car. When you turn on, the ignition, then the engine starts, If you don't turn on the ignition, the engine doesn't start. Once the engine starts, all other things, can start as well, And that is the same thing with our body, Being in our thoughts, in our memories, doesn't help us to understand, what is going on in the body, how the chitta and how the body, interact with each other. Because you can have the intention to think, but you don't think, so nothing is happening in the body. But the moment the first part of the thought is coming up, then something is happening in the heart, and in the brain, and you can feel it, And that's why we have to become really, really aware of what the hell is going on also in this body, So to center ourselves always in the body. When we get distracted, center yourself in the body and then go back to your breath, I mean, it is so interesting, it's so fascinating how this body works. I mean, why do we still go into these thoughts and memories, I mean, what do they bring us? We never investigate. What does this memory bring me? I mean, sometimes really ask the question. When you have a memory that you think it is, what does it give me? Nothing. It's just one of these soap bubbles. Oh, it looks nice. It looks nice. And boop's gone. And then it looks nice. Boop gone. I mean, what do we have? Nothing. But to understand, what is going on? How is the chitta? The chitta is the driver. If you remember what I said, the chitta is the driver, of this body. Just like there is a driver of the car. The car doesn't drive without the chitta. The car doesn't drive without the driver. It doesn't go. It doesn't go left. It doesn't go right. It doesn't go forward. It doesn't turn on the ignition, nothing. The air conditioner doesn't work, if there's no driver in there. It doesn't turn on automatically. And that's the same thing with the body. I mean, get interested, I mean, how is this working, I mean, we want so much, but this wanting, is prohibiting is prohibiting us to see the truth, to see what is going on. I mean, it's so fascinating. I mean, you can spend hours, days, weeks, and months, just to look at this, And then the more you look at this, I mean, the more, or the less you're interested in what is going on around, and the less you're disturbed by the things that are going on around. No matter if these people are chatting or that people are chatting, because you're interested in what is going on. And you see your reaction towards it, And you can feel it, and where is it coming from? Certain things we cannot stop, We cannot stop the rain from falling. When it falls, and it falls, When it's dry, and when it's hot, then it's hot, I mean, we cannot stop it, from getting cooler, And it will come, the time will come when it gets cooler, The time will come, when the rain stops. Or the time will come when the rain starts, and then it gets cooler, It used to be, for the last few days it was very cool, very nice. And now it's getting, the rain stops, it's getting hot again, And so this is the change of the world. This is anicca. Everything is anicca, And our body is also anicca. But we have to understand, we have to look, and we have to get interested. And this, this interest, leads us to samadhi, leads us to deep samadhi, leads us to understanding what is going on in the realms of the body, and leads us to understanding how the chitta and the body, work together. Because if there's nothing happening in the chitta, there's nothing happening in the body. It cannot be. If the body shakes, there's something happening in the chitta. Because the body doesn't shake by itself, So there's something going on in the chitta. But because, the going on in the chitta is so subtle that we never catch it. But we catch the outside things, when we are afraid, when we are tense, when we are, when our heart is closed. These things, we can catch it. Our awareness, shows us this. But what is going on in the chitta, mostly, in the beginning it is hidden, So look at it, So center yourself, whenever you get lost, center yourself in the body and look, look at the feelings. They are constant feelings. When you concentrate, there's a rush of energy, and you can feel it, you can feel it, so you can feel it, until there are no body parts. There's just energy. It's just an energetic body, There are no body parts anymore, everything disappears, it becomes actually the elements, the elements, the four elements. Water element, the fire element, the earth element, and the air element. Yeah? And that's it. Yeah? Everything in this world, everything in this universe, consists of these four elements. Yeah? And because, of the mixing of the elements, some has a lot of earth element, so it seems to be very solid. Others has a lot of air element, like our thoughts, it seems to be of fleeting nature and other things. Yeah? And there's nothing, when you look at it, when you investigate it, or when you investigate the body, and investigate a part of the body, you can divide it up into these four elements, if your awareness is good enough. Yeah? If it's not good enough, then just stick with the solidity of this object, and then probe into it, and dissect it. Or ask where it's coming from. Yeah? Where's the hair growing out? Yeah? There's the skin and there's no hair, and there's the skin and there's hair, so, yeah? How does it work, yeah? And then look deeper, go a little bit deeper, go through the skull, and go into the brain, and look at, how is the brain working, yeah? What part, what part of the brain, when a thought comes, when you think, what part of the brain is active? You don't need any medical studies, to understand that. You just can look at it, experience it for yourself. Yeah? That's why the Lord Buddha said, open your eyes and then see for yourself, or experience it yourself. It's always there. Yeah? But we try, all our life, we studied this, we studied that, we know this, we know that, yeah. But this knowledge, we do know, this knowledge, gets obsolete sometimes, it's replaced with new knowledge, and then new knowledge, and new knowledge. Huh? But this knowledge that we derive from our body, this is there. It's always there. Yeah? Just need to look. Yeah? Just need to open our eyes and get interested. Yeah? And the more we're interested, the easier it is for us to get into samadhi, and it is easier for us, to understand, yeah? The working between the chitta and the body. It is really, it's fascinating, yeah? And for a doctor, the chitta does not exist. That's where all the medicine goes wrong, yeah? Because the chitta is the prime mover, yeah? In Christianity, the soul exists, but, they never could find where is the soul, yeah? They thought it is, one of the body parts, yeah, there where the soul is sitting, yeah? No, the soul is immaterial, yeah? The chitta is immaterial, yeah? You can't find it, yeah? You can open the corpse, you can investigate, you can use infrared or, whatever it is, whatever, MRI, and you can never find a chitta, yeah? Because it's not there. Yeah? You cannot, it's not material. Yeah? Understood? Get interested in that, that helps you, yeah? Now you have still 5 weeks, I think still 5 weeks before the end of the pansa. Use the time wisely. Yeah? And that's all what I want to say. So now you can ask questions if you have some. Yeah.
To go to this battlefield, let's start with the breath, and then I can stop if I have some interested, or not to mix it.
What is the question?
When I practice samadhi for the breath.
Yeah.
And then I found it interesting to go to the body.
No.
That's the question.
No. You should not. Because then that's the same thing that I told the Thais. You should not mix. Samadhi is samadhi and wisdom is wisdom. So when you do investigation, sometimes when you do investigation of the body, the mind becomes really calm and then it slips into samadhi. We should avoid that.
But I'm talking about
And that is the same thing, when we are doing samadhi, we should not slip into investigation. So when you do it, when you do the breath, you stick with the tip of the nose or around the nose where you feel the breath, yeah? And you stick with it, yeah? And you always return to this point, yeah? The only exception for samadhi is when the pain becomes too strong. Then we can go to the pain.
But when you say about this energy or flow.
Now, when I said when you get lost, in your thoughts or in memories, recenter in the body and then go back to the point. Yeah. You don't have to do it, but no. Sometimes it is helpful.
I'm saying, sometimes it is a thing to see this kind of energy or to feel this body.
Yeah, but it's not the same. It's not samadhi. Yes, when you do investigation, you can do it. Yeah? But then sit down, and do investigation of the whole body and then look at the whole body, and get, make a tour through the body, and stick with the whole body of the feeling of the body. That is investigation. Yeah? But when you do samadhi, you don't do it. Yeah? And the only exception is when there is so much pain that you cannot concentrate on the breath or on the Buddha anymore. Then you can start the investigation. Yeah? Otherwise, we get mixed up. Yeah. Now we go, it's just a jumping mind. Yeah. Then we go, this is interesting. Then we go here. That is interesting. Then we go here. We neither get any results, from our investigation because we constantly jump. We don't see what is going on. Nor do we get any samadhi. Yeah? So please, please be advised, don't mix this up. Samadhi is samadhi, or samatha is samatha, and panya is panya, wisdom is wisdom. Yeah? Samadhi is calm meditation, and wisdom is wisdom. Yeah? And we don't mix it up. Yeah? A lot of people do it, because the mind slips automatically. When you do investigation, it slips automatically in a calm, and then we stay, in a calm, and then, okay, and then we go. Yeah. We don't get any results from that. Yeah? We have to look, for instance, for pain, and that's why I said it is so important, to do the pain investigation. We stick with the pain, it is much easier to stick with the pain, and then we look what is happening there. Yeah? What really is happening there. Yeah? So we stick with it. It is easy because we don't like it, and it is constantly there. It doesn't go away, just like the feelings of the body, they go away, and they change into this and that. But the pain, stays on. That's where we learn. That's where we sharpen our knife of wisdom. Yeah? Okay, understood. Other questions? No, then read the question from the internet.
When we investigate the body, do we think about the body and its drawbacks, or do we just mentally remove the parts of the body and just reflect on the dissected parts? Because when I think about the problems related to the body, the mind creates some questions and thoughts of its own in reply.
No. I tried to explain it just before, how we investigate the body. Yeah. What we do when we start investigation of the body, first of all, if there's a topic that interests us, just like the brain or the skin or the teeth or the skin or the hairs, hairs of the head or hair of the body, then we stick with this, yeah, and we do the same thing, just like we do with the Buddha. We repeat the word, we mentally repeat the word skin, 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 yeah, or hair, 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 or whatever it is. Or if it is an inner organ, then we repeat it until we start to see that object that we are repeating. Yeah? So we have to be interested in the object that we repeat, by repeating the word, we want to get the picture of it. Yeah? Once we get the picture of the object that we are interested in dissecting, and the picture seems to be stable, then we can start to dissect that. Yeah? And all our thoughts are going around the same object. Yeah? So when I do investigation of the body, what we can do at first, if we don't have any interesting object, then we just make a tour. Then we start at the head and go to the feet, and whenever we meet an object that we'd like that interests us, then we stick with this object until our investigation is finished. We don't change the objects. Yeah? And then once we can see them, once we get a clear vision, but it takes, for some people, because they did it in their last life, it comes very clear, very fast, very clear, yeah? But for most of us, probably, it will take a long time until we see the picture, and it becomes clearer over time. It took me nearly 9 months of constant effort, to get a clear picture of the inner organ. But once you get a clear picture of the inner organ, it can be very clear, or it can be just as clear so that you understand. Then you can start, to investigate it. Yeah? You can dissect it, look, what it is, look what it is made of. Yeah. And once you understand, or you can dissect it into the 4 elements, and see, and the next time you take another object, and then you compare these two. What is the difference, between the heart and the lungs, yeah? And the other thing, and the hair, and the hair and the teeth, what is the difference? Yeah? It all comes from the same thing. Yeah? It all comes, look, where the nails are coming out. Yeah? They're coming out of the skin. Yeah? And then look at it. So. Yeah? So they are made out of the same components. But some of them have more earth elements, so they are more more solid than the others. Yeah? Do you think the question is answered?
I think so, but maybe you could sometimes talk about reflecting about the drawbacks of the body. So
About the what?
the drawbacks of the body.
Oh, yes, we think about, when we are born, we think about, when we get old, we think about, when we get sick, and we think about, death, yeah? And we think about whatever comes into the body, it is nice and tastes nice, and smells nice, whatever comes off the body, it is loathsome. And then when we open up the body, we sometimes faint, or we want to throw up because we don't want to see the mess that is inside, yeah? And the drawback of the body is, we have to take it, wherever we go, we have to take it with us, yeah? Think about, going up a mountain, a steep mountain, with 80 kilograms on your back, yeah? If you have nothing, if you have 0 kilograms, you just fly up, the mountain, yeah? Oh, heavy, yeah? Huh? Okay.
Because when he does that, his mind creates some questions.
Yeah, you shouldn't. The questions that you create are concerned only with the object itself, yeah? How is this object? What happens to this object? When I dissect it, how does it look like? And when I put it over fire, or when you look at the whole body, what is happening at death? You ask the questions about this. When you look at the whole body, you ask the question, what is happening at death? I really want to see what goes out first. The air. Then what goes out next? It's the water. And then what goes out? What comes next? Yeah. Then the flesh disappears. Slowly disappears. And at the end, there are only the bones left. Yeah. That's you have to be, or you take one object, and then you center your thoughts around this object. Yeah. And you want to understand what this object is. So the question should be according to that. Yeah. If these questions that are created by the mind are around this object, then it's fine. But if they are in relation with this, then it's not so fine. Yeah? You really want to understand the nature of this object that you investigate. Just like we want to understand the nature of pain. Yeah? What is it? What is pain? What is this object? What is hair? Yeah? Or what is nails? Yeah? I really want to understand it. Yeah? So your thoughts are centered around this one object. Yeah? What is nail? Where is it coming from? Yeah? Where is it growing out? Yeah? Why is it so? The skin is soft, and the nails is hard. What makes it? And dissect it, and see. Yeah? It's the same with the hair, and so on.
What causes one to come out of apana samadhi? is it the same as Upachara Samadhi, i.e. arising thought or memory?
In Upachara Samadhi, normally only at the beginning, thoughts and memory are still, once in a while coming, yeah. But normally then not, yeah. So the deeper you go into Samadhi, yeah, the deeper your Upachara Samadhi is, there are no more thoughts, yeah, and there are no more memories coming up. So you're really in a safe house, yeah. In Appana Samadhi, once you enter Appana Samadhi, you will come out sooner than you want. And you will come out, yeah. There's nobody, unless somebody decides that he doesn't want to come back to this world, then he stays, and dies, yeah. But the longest time that you can stay in Appana Samadhi is 7 days, yeah. There was one monk, here in Thailand, was he finished or was he anagami? I don't know, maybe he was an arahant, or I can't remember. Or he was an anagami, and all what he did, he went into Appana Samadhi after 7 days, he came out, ate something, drank something, and then went back into Appana Samadhi. Yeah, because he didn't want, yeah. Dhamma said you shouldn't do that. Use the time that you have, you attain such a high level, use the time, wisely. So he doesn't have to worry to come out of Appana Samadhi. He will come out. Yeah.
And what about coming out of Appana Samadhi safely? How can
you cannot come out safely. Yeah, it is because you cannot. There is nothing. There is nothing. The moment you come out, yeah. You know that you're coming out. Yeah. Now Upachara Samadhi. That is where you have to come out safely. Yeah. But Appana Samadhi, some people, go into Upachara Samadhi, then automatically into the next stage, or in the higher stage, or lower stage, whatever you call it, yeah? And then go into Upachara Samadhi. From there you can come out slowly. Yeah? But it is so amazing, the moment you come out, it's so amazing. Yeah? So you just watch what is happening. Yeah? Because then, if you've been long enough in Appana Samadhi, when you come out, yeah, in the beginning you don't know who you are, where you are, what this is, yeah, and then you see, how your thoughts and your memories are slowly coming back and creating that what you are. It's fascinating, yeah. Then you see that is all an illusion, that is all a creation of our memories and thoughts, yeah. What we are, who we are, where we are, and so on. Yeah? Before that, in Appana Samadhi, none of this exists. Yeah? And when you come out, you see how the mind slowly, you open your eyes and you really don't know, what is going on. Yeah? And then you see your memories slowly. It is like in a slow motion, very slow motion. You see how everything is building up. Yeah? And then once it built up, it seems so solid. You can't destroy it anymore. The only way, to go back into Appana Samadhi. Sometimes it does happen when you go very deep into Upachara Samadhi, when really there's nothing left of the body, except for the heart, when you come out. It's also very slow. It's slow motion, yeah. It's interesting, and there's so many interesting things that you can. Why do you hang up in your dreams and in your memories and your thoughts? Why? There's so many interesting things to see. Yeah. Okay.
So, is it okay to observe the breath on the upper lip, or is it mandatory to observe it?
No, wherever you feel it. Yeah. What? Anapanasati. It is mindfulness of breathing in, breathing out. And it is, for most of the people, it is around the tip of the nose, if he feels it at the upper lips, it is fine. Yeah? But he should stay there. Yeah? Not wandering, not wandering around. Okay?
When you repeat some investigation of the body. If
Yeah.
some organ was
Yeah.
repeated.
Yeah.
Do I also think about it or just repeat it like the Buddha? Or do I
Yeah, you repeat it like the Buddha and try, but at the same time you try to picture it.
the picture?
Yeah, I mean, if you have a picture, of a anatomy, atlas, where you've seen it before, then you try to get that picture. Yeah, or when you look at the other things, I mean, like the hair of the body, then you can do 5 minutes stare at the hair of the body, or stare at the nails, and then take this picture, and put it inside. Yeah, and then look at this picture while you're repeating it. With the inner organs, it's more difficult because, we don't want to cut it off. It's bleeding too much. But then there we can use, anatomic, what do you call it, atlas. So, okay? And so it's so quiet. So, when you finish here, cut them off, come to the other. Didn't you move that yet? I'm sure that we can use that, so we probably have to move it.